Hi, everybody. My name is Nathaniel Lewis, and welcome to Quarantime. Quarantine. I was just sitting around here, and I was thinking about all of you. I know we're all a little worried about some things right now, and I thought maybe this would be a good time to do something that's kind of relaxing. So today I'm going to show you how to sharpen a pencil. So I know we've all used a pencil sharpener before probably, but this time around we're going to learn how to do it with a knife. So you can see here I've got a nice little Ticonderoga pencil here, and I have a box cutter and just a regular old knife. I only have the knife out just to show you can do this with a knife if you want to whittle or something like that, but you know, it doesn't have to be a knife. Close that up for safety. The reason I'm going to be using this box cutter here is because it's got the little safety function, and you probably have something like it in your house. You slide it up there, and then if you want to lock it into position, you pull this little tab back here and that'll lock it in place. Now when I'm sharpening a pencil, I don't really need that much showing. We go down to maybe like 4 or 5 sections showing here, and you want to get started by perfecting your motion. A lot of mistakes people make is they hold whatever they're trying to whittle really tightly, and then they hold their knife really tightly, and they just kind of throw it off into nowhere. And that's not really the most productive way of doing it, because you have very little control. What you really need to do is have the object in here, and while I'm holding the knife with this hand, I'm actually controlling the knife with my non-dominant thumb. So this controls how far the knife can even go, because I'm not putting any forward pressure with this hand, it's just holding the knife. So I'm going to get started here, and I start at about a 30-degree angle, and I just rotate the pencil and work my way around. Now this is pretty typical for the depth of an actual pencil, so you know what you would use in everyday life. But the trick is you want to get really close to the graphite without cutting into the graphite just yet. And you see, again, I'm just controlling it with this thumb. There's no wild swings out into nowhere. And I just keep spinning it, and I'm going to kind of round out these corners here, anywhere where I have an edge. And it's alright if I start to cut into the graphite here. And I just keep rotating. And I'm going to shave very gently on the graphite of the pencil. Now something to note while you're carving here, you may find that you get a certain way through and then the graphite just pops right off. The reason for that is at some point in this pencil's past it's been dropped. Right? So every time you drop a pencil, I would say often when you drop a pencil, the interior here, because this was once made up of 2 separate pieces of wood, sandwiching this graphite that has some sort of a glue binder, somewhere in here there's going to be a little crack in your pencil lead, and you'll discover those after you spent 5+ minutes meticulously sharpening your pencil, and then you find that it breaks off. That can be very, very frustrating. So I just work my way around. Now this is great just for everyday use. Some people, when they get to the lead portion, they want it to be extra sharp, so you can actually get a little piece of sandpaper and kind of rotate as you go, or even just a regular coarse piece of paper will do the trick too. Now if I'm drawing, I like to have a little more lead exposed personally, so I'm going to work my way back and I'm going to be very gentle. I'm going to try and get as much of this pencil exposed as possible. Some of you in the past, you may have encountered different types of pencils. You notice that there are, H's and B's and all those sorts of things. Now where that comes from is a B pencil is a softer pencil. And the higher the number, the softer the pencil lead is. And then the H pencil is very hard. And the higher the number of an H, the more coarse it's going to be. I tend to only use H pencils for blending when I do a drawing. But that's just me. Some people like to use it for laying things out. I find that it incises the paper, makes these little tiny cuts that you can't really come back from. Whereas these softer pencils may leave more lead, but it's also easier to erase. So now you can see I'm kind of ready to draw. It's a little bit more like a paintbrush. When I draw, when I'm roughing things out, I'll often hold it a little further back. So I guess that's it today for Quarantime. I hope you enjoyed that, and I guess I'll try to do these every once in a while whenever I get around to it. And I want you to know that I'm thinking about all of you, and I think everything's going to be all right.